Hi, everyone, and welcome to Rescripted Podcast, where we could celebrate the great things in life, share about the not so great parts, and find out how we can rewrite those challenges, turn them into insightful moments that will lead us to change, to growth, to happiness, and empowerment, all so that we can live the life we truly want to experience. My name is Amy Quiles, and I'm a personal development coach that helps you overcome self-doubt and self-sabotage so that you can live your dream life. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing how to develop successful habits, right? All of us have goals. Some of us achieve them and some of us don't. So we want to know what is the difference between the two, because we all have ambition, right? But some of us truly go after them. Some of us just enjoy dreaming of them. But what's the difference if we both have ambitions, if people in life have ambitions and have desires, then what allows one to move forward with them and what allows the other ones to be in a stagnant place with them? Because let's face it, if you have a passion and if you have a desire, those things don't just go away. If you really love something and you really want something to happen, but you don't know how to start, just because you don't know doesn't mean you stop wanting that. If anything, it causes more frustration because you want it and you don't know how to achieve it. So today we're going to talk about some elements to break you out of that frustration and challenging stage and just go for it. Bet on yourself and go for it. Okay, so I'm going to use a super common example for today to be able to really highlight this matter. So when it comes to ambition and when it comes to goals, ultimately there's a common thread in a lot of them. We want to be fulfilled. We want to feel with purpose and alignment, and we want it to bring us joy and love and unity with our families, right? What we do, we want to just be able to enjoy it. And attached to that is an element of finances. So no matter what stage you are in life, you are going to come to the crossroads of feeling like your budget just needs to get a little bit bigger than what you currently have, right? So when I say it doesn't matter what stage you are in life, you could be in college and you can have limited funds and you're going to say, I wish I had more income. You could be a mom with small little kids, you have a family and you want to do all these great things and you want to put them in great schools and you want to have great vacations. And you're going to say you want your budget to expand to allow for all those things. If you are an entrepreneur, you're starting off a business and you want to take it to new heights and new levels, you're going to say you want to expand your budget to allow for that to happen. And even if you are an investor, you're going to have all these opportunities coming your way that you get so excited over. And guess what? You're going to say, I wish that my budget can expand so that I can take advantage of every single opportunity. But that's just not the case, right? Sometimes you have to cherry pick what you're going to partake in and what are the things that you're just going to have to let go for now or put them in the back burner for another time. But you see, it doesn't matter where you are in life. There's going to be a common thread in each stage. So that's the first component. I don't want you to get hung up because of finances, because no matter what, if you have ambition, it doesn't matter what stage you are in life, you're going to wish that your budget would expand so it can allow for more. So that's why it's so important to realize you have to be happy with where you are. You have to be content with where you are, because once you're there and you can enjoy it, then you understand the different elements that you want to expand from that. If you want a completely whole new scenery, okay, that's one component. Then maybe you just want to add elements to what you already have, then that means you're in alignment and you just want to enhance that experience more. But the core is still the same, whether you're in alignment with what you want and you just want to advance and enhance what you're doing, or if you feel like you're out of alignment and you just want a whole new scenery altogether. In both circumstances, you're going to come across opportunities where you're going to wish that you were able to expand your finances so that it can allow for all these things to take place. So please do not allow that to hinder you in what you're doing and in the way that you're guiding, because it's really not a limiting factor. It's just a mindset that you have to adjust. So that's what we're going to dive into a little bit deeper today. Okay, so instead of focusing on the limiting aspects, you really want to focus on the impact that these components do for you. Instead of focusing on what is the hindrance, instead of focusing on what is the challenge, focus on what can be an impact, right? Of course, there's going to be places to modify, because if you see that what you want and your budget doesn't allow for it to happen, then an adjustment needs to be made, right? So what kind of adjustment are you going to make? Again, if you're a college student, it could be the difference between going out or, staying in and studying and advancing yourself that way, or highlighting going out and enjoying the evening because maybe you took a test and maybe you worked really hard towards it. So there's a decision that you need to make there. If you have a family, you're going to want to determine whether you're going to want to go on specific vacations or if you're going to focus more on education, right? They're both valuable. They're both needed. If you're going into business and you're going to have a startup, there's different components that you need to take into account. There's different softwares that you may need, and there's going to be different elements that you're going to need in different stages. So you want to know what stage you're in so that you can make the proper decision. Because some things, although you may want them, they may not be necessary for right now, but maybe they will be essential 6 months from now, a year from now. So those are things that you want to factor in, is that you just need to see where you are right now. Make sure that what you're doing can meet you where you are right now. Because ultimately, the most important thing is that you have a healthy pace to your growth. And trust me, I know I'm with you if you're someone that tends to be a little impatient. You get so excited for what's next. You have the plan, you have the vision, you have the goal, all the components are, all aligned the way that they're supposed to. And the only thing that's kind of stopping you is time, right? Things just need to have time so that they can work out. So I understand you, and I'm with you if you're someone that gets frustrated when you have to wait. You just feel like you have this thought, you have this concept, you put it into play, and that's it. You want it to take off. But the thing with that is, I wouldn't say that that's truly a healthy growing rate, because if you're moving so fast, so fast, so fast with everything that you do, well, you're in motion, but are you able to extract the valuable lessons that are going to be able to lend themselves to what you're going to work on next? Because remember, if you're always just working and you're never able to extract anything from it, remember the lessons end up being almost like nutrients for the soul, right? You get to learn a lot. The thing about being young is that you don't have a lot of experience. So there's so many different strategies that you could try, different options, solutions. Like the world is your oyster, right? And then you try some things and you see some things work and some things don't work. And then you'll see the other things you try and you really like it, and other things not so much. So you see, there's a season in life where you have to gain experience, because you have to find what works for you. So although it may feel like wasted time because it's not getting you the traction that you want, because maybe all you're focused on is the end result, the end goal. But truly, that journey that you're on is so valuable, because you're able to see what is authentic to you, what is a true proven path that you want to be able to operate on, because those are the components to give you results. So knowing what you like and knowing what you don't like is really important on your path to success. And being able to develop healthy habits is part of that, is understanding what works for you. For instance, when I work, I have to be organized. It's just the way that I am. It allows me to propel quicker, faster, because instead of having to go back and check everything and redo everything and, having to start over every single time, I organize myself in such a way that it's easy for me to see where I left off. And it's easy for me to see what I'm working towards, because it's just that clear. Another thing that I do to help myself is that I operate in color. I color coordinate things. So I communicate in color, I say. I communicate to myself and my team in color, because I feel like you're able to see things from like a bird's eye. You're able to see what you've been working on. Sometimes when you have to read every piece of like content, and sometimes I feel like it's just a waste of time where you just want to see, was it taken care of? Was it not taken care of? Are we able to move forward with this, or is this still pending? Sometimes you don't need the details, and colors will give you that. It'll let you know what stage it's in. And so that helps me a lot with my success because it allows me to like shortcut the information. So I get to look at a chart and see how much of this was dedicated to one aspect and how much was dedicated to another component. Boom, I got that information in literally seconds, maybe half a second. I'm able to see where all the time was allocated to. So that's very helpful because since I like to work at my most optimum level, things like that are aids to that. It allows me to do that, and it allows me to be successful. And I wouldn't have known that unless I started to use color. What if I would have never used color? I wouldn't have known that, like, I'm able to look at things and kind of pick up on it a lot quicker and save myself time and get accurate information, right? As long as the information that was input was accurate, you will constantly have accurate information in an instant because the color is an indicator of where things stand. And it's pretty to look at. I like to enjoy things, and being able to look at things in a pleasant way, in a pretty way, brings joy to me. So it's kind of like tackling two things at once. It allows my workspace to be pleasant to the eye, but also effective and productive because it's accurate information, and I'm able to extract it in no time, in seconds. So that's some of my components and some of my key little tricks to aid to my success and to be complementary to how quickly I want to work. So you have to find those components that work for you because honestly, wanting to achieve success, all that's saying is that you want to achieve something. You want to propel in something. You want to be good at something, but you want to be a little bit more specific. And once you're able to get on that journey and see what you like and see what you don't like and see where you shine and see what comes naturally to you, easy. Maybe it's not always easy, but after time it becomes easy and it becomes very natural to you. Well, you're going to find what works for you. And those are the components that are going to help you propel quicker and be more effective. Because when you like something, when you enjoy something, it's kind of hard to not invest and commit and grow and try to develop yourself in that area. I love to when I'm interested in something, I really like to dive deep into it. I want to know all of the components that's needed to really be effective in that. And that's just me. I can't, study something for 30 minutes. I have to dive in. I have to do a deep dive. I have to learn every aspect of it. But it's because it's topics that I enjoy. It's things that I appreciate. So of course I'm going to invest my time and learning about it more because I'm so intrigued by it. But if I didn't like it, I wouldn't waste my time on it. I wouldn't invest my time in it. I wouldn't invest resources into it because it would just be a waste of time. I wouldn't give it the commitment that it needs. But when I find something that I truly love, I commit, I invest, I am all in. That's the level of commitment you want when it comes to something that you really enjoy. Because when you hit that sweet spot, you never feel like you're working. You just feel like you're enjoying it. And it's, you almost feel like, not, I don't want to say play because obviously it is work, but you just feel like you're just enjoying yourself. The time goes by. You really don't check the clock all day long because you're so invested and so engulfed in what you're doing that takes precedence over how much time you invested. Sometimes you'll be surprised how much time, how much of your life you truly invest to the things that you're really passionate about. So when it comes to success, I will say that is the number one thing. First, you got to love it. First, you got to figure out what it is that you want to gain success in. right? What do you want to achieve? Be specific, because that way you're able to understand how you're going to tailor this experience. And once you're able to be specific, then you're going to find out what are the components of you that you're able to determine how this is going to map out the best way that's going to highlight what you're good at, what your strengths are. And along the way, of course, it's going to highlight some of your weaknesses. That's just life, right? You know, we get the good and the bad. But there's a difference when you look at it and say, I have a flaw, versus looking at it and saying, I have an area of development that I need to invest in. You know, when you look at it that way, again, I take it back to cooking. You know, when you're cooking chicken and you could be so hungry and you go and you check on your chicken, and if it's well cooked, great, you're so excited. But if it's not and it's cooked halfway and the center is still a little raw, you're not going to take the chance and eat it. You'll wait a little bit longer to make sure that it's well cooked, because you don't want to cause more harm to yourself. Well, that's the same way with personal development. There's areas that are going to be well cooked, well seasoned, well developed, and you're going to be great. But as, you know, a living, breathing human, you're always evolving, always growing, always developing. So you're going to find areas where maybe you were great in one season in life, but now you've elevated to another one. So guess what? So now you have to grow in certain elements that you didn't before. So it's not that there's a void. It's not that you're wrong. It's not that you have a flaw. It's just an area of development that needs to take place. And knowing precisely how to do so, knowing exactly what's needed, well, it's going to make it easier, for one, because you're not going to beat yourself up over it. Two, you're going to realize, okay, what are the components I need to excel in the way that I want to? And because you are improving yourself, that does feel good. It is enjoyable, because it's almost like you get to see yourself grow in real time. You are witnessing the evolution of you in real time. And that's pretty magnificent, right? A lot of us grow, and all we could say is like, where did the time go? You know, there's this great saying that the days are long, but the years are short. And I think that is so true. That is so true. It's so sad how true that is once you become an adult. But truly, once you find something that you're passionate about and you enjoy, I mean, the days go just as quick as the years do. And you're just like, oh my God, where did all the time go? And that's where journaling really plays a big component, at least for me, because I do assess my months. I always go in the beginning of the month, and I go at the end of the month, and I assess what I've done, what I have accomplished, because I feel like I just work and go, 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 that sometimes you can forget about the progress that you made. So you need to have some type of journal or some type of calendar to keep track of it. So when you look back and you're just like, well, where did these days go? You're able to see precisely where they went. You're able to see precisely how you contributed, what you impacted, and how you have grown. And you get to be proud of yourself in real time. You don't have to wait until, you know, you're at your retired old age to look back and be like, wow, I did a lot. Like, no, you can actively see it as you're progressing. And there's a level of appreciation to that that's just, there's self-love in it, because you're committed to you. You're committed to your growth. You're committed to your purpose. You're committed to your impact. And that is a really, really great space to be in. And if you know me, you know I love projects, you know I love goals and projections, and I love, you know, putting strategy into play, because that is how you get to see your dreams come to life, is being able to develop strategies for yourself, for your goals, for your life, for your plan, for your ambitions to really take off. So if that's something that you struggle with, or that's something that you're excited to implement in your next step, then I want to invite you to take my masterclass, which is called Unveiling Your Next Chapter. And in this masterclass, I help you do just that. I help you set out the blueprint to your goals, so that way you can meet them and exceed them effectively and efficiently. So if that's something that you're interested, I'm going to link it in the description below, and you'll have access to it, and you will be able to be on your journey to unveil your next chapter, where you're able to achieve all of your goals. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you enjoyed this episode and feel like it was insightful, then I ask you to please rate it, like it, and subscribe. And share it with someone you feel will enjoy it. I'll be back here next week and we will continue to discuss matters regarding personal development. Take care, guys. Have a blessed week, and I'll see you next time.